Itar has raised me to new heights.
Only the most talented mages can summon skeletal guardians. It takes great power to form these tall, slim constructs from their unstable reagents, and even more power to sustain them. In the hands of a master, however, the guardians can become powerful weapons capable of defending their posts until the end of time. Some devious little goblins have been robbing our merchants. When pursued, they simply open portals and disappear with the most aggravating chuckle. The peasantry seem to believe that the goblins serve a great demon lord known as Greed. And furthermore, that their portals lead to Greed's domain. A ludicrous notion, truly.
The bestial hellions are demons that can be summoned from the burning hells with the aid of foul sorcery. They are given to chasing down their foes and attacking them with savage fangs. This usually allows some spare time for their masters to craft their dark spell work and finish off the victim.
My strides grow longer. My strength has increased.
After Malthael's disappearance, the Angiris Council appointed his most loyal servant, Urzael, to find him and bring him back to the high heavens. Urzael, accompanied by the sect of maidens who were Malthael's closest followers, set out to find their absent master. They never returned.
Itar has raised me to new heights. My strides grow longer.
The Rift Guardian is here!
My path becomes clearer.
Long ago, I would open rifts for the Nephilim to help them train for battle. They fought bravely, facing down enemies in places pulled from the deepest corners of their memories. Ours is a race of great power, but we are nothing unless we temper it with skill. If you are to achieve your birthright, then conquer the rifts and take your rightful place among us.
I must lessen my burden. My mind is stronger. I can't carry any more. My strides grow longer.
During the last days of King Leoric's reign, even the skeletons of the ancient dead could not rest. They took up their broken armor and weapons once more, ready to cut down anything that yet drew breath. Though wasted and fragile, these creatures possess a twisted cleverness that makes them quite formidable.
My strength has increased. My understanding grows.
Long ago, 5 clans of the Umbaru tribe left the Teganze and ventured north. After their transformation into Khazra, Only a few elders were still able to use magic, and they passed it down to their cleverest children. These are the Khazra Shaman, and they rank among the most dangerous of their race.
No longer. Yitar has raised me to new heights. My mind is stronger. My path becomes clearer. My understanding grows. My strides grow longer. My strides grow longer. The gods favor me. My understanding grows. My strength has increased. My mind is stronger.
I need to go back.
Tyrael, it's been interesting for me to see all of these places where you and the Nephilim journeyed. I've heard so much about your adventures with Leah and Cain. I almost feel like I was there.
They were trying times.
Tyrael has told me that the winged assassins were once the sages of wisdom. In return for their vow of eternal silence, they were free to roam Malthael's pools of wisdom in the high heavens. Over the millennia, they learned nearly everything about the past, the present, and even part of what would come. But could they have foreseen their dark fates? That I do not know. When I first beheld the Corpse Raiser, I thought myself capable of defeating him. Then he reached out his arm, and the ground in front of him was bathed in a spectral light. The bones of men and beasts rose from the earth and advanced on me. Though this Reaper wields a dangerous sword, its shield, with its rows of razor-sharp spikes, poses the greater threat. With a single thrust, it can open a man from waist to throat. That shield was not made for protection. It was made to cripple, maim, and kill.
The Morlu were once men, great warriors of old, but each of them had darkness within his soul, and Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, used this flaw to trick them into his service. Mephisto's fury slowly burned away their mortal forms, leaving them fiery apparitions who know no pain, fear, or doubt. I have seen many warriors in my day, but only a scant few of them could face the might of an oppressor. This monster towers over the tallest barbarians and wields weapons crafted from hell-forged steel. They were last seen with Baal during his resurgence, and left legions of dead men in their wake.
My mind is stronger.
I will never forget the first time I saw these horrors shambling out of the misty woods. Our loved ones, buried long ago, rose from their graves and...
The Rift Guardian is here!
Itar has raised me to new heights. I can't carry any more. I cannot carry more. The gods favor me.
I would rather not discuss the sand wasp. These overgrown insects wouldn't be notable whatsoever if not for their exceptionally poisonous stings, which, alas, killed my young apprentice. I thought he would be more careful when I sent him to retrieve a sample from the hive, but his parents did not understand my perspective.
My understanding grows.
These monsters were once the most notorious and reviled criminals in Westmarch. drawn up from the deepest, darkest cells of the city's prisons. Each was worse than the last. Heartless murderers who had butchered countless men, women, and children. In death, Malthael birthed them in forms that matched their twisted, callous souls, creating perfect instruments of slaughter. The executioners have earned their name. The Anarchs were among Malthael's most trusted advisors, and his fall to darkness affected them deeply. Gone were their radiant wings and calm, balanced counsel. Now they possess only malice and cruelty, and the insatiable desire to destroy all living things.
My strides grow longer. I must lessen my burden. I can't carry any more. My understanding grows. I cannot carry more. I must lessen my burden. My path becomes clearer.
I need to go back.
The bile crawlers are commonly spoken of among the peasantry in Honduras, most often invoked to scare unruly children into their beds. Fables hold that the crawlers are the half-formed demon spawn who hatched before their time. They resemble nothing more than a bloody, ravening mess, and possess a voracious appetite for human flesh. The Lacuni, or panther men as they are sometimes called, have inhabited the desert wastes east of Chaldeum for thousands of years. The large males are the tribe's leaders and protectors, while the agile females are expert hunters. Mostly they are primitive and reclusive creatures, although they will attack if cornered or hungry.
My understanding grows. My path becomes clearer. My stride.
The Rift Guardian is here.
The Herodric Scrolls describe hulking phase beasts as sin made flesh. Asmodan granted them great power, allowing the beasts to shift in and out of sight at will. It is believed that the Lord of Sin only looses the phase beasts against uncommonly clever enemies who cannot be bested with tooth and claw.
The gods favor me.
The ancient texts describe the terror demons as unconquerable foes, the dreams of Diablo made flesh. They appear in shadow to torment their victims, and then, in shadow, they vanish. The mere sight of one drove a Herodrim to madness, leaving him screaming and clawing at his eyes until the end of his days.
Me to new heights.
I had half a mind to explore the ancient ruins outside Westmarch, and then I realized they were crawling with dreadful scarabs. Of course, these creatures do not frighten me, but they make my research much too time-consuming, and I am widely known for my efficiency, am I not?
My understanding grows.
I consider myself an expert on all matters concerning boggits. The boggit itself is a small, odd creature given to foraging and burrowing. Under normal circumstances, it fears humans, but it can be incited to great violence when under the influence of magical objects. Rings in particular seem to excite them. The tusked boggan is a ferocious, hulking beast with an exceedingly bad temper. Aided by packs of boggits, it will fight anything that crosses its path. Invariably, some of the boggits will die, but the survivors are rewarded with scraps left over from the boggan's prey. If only my assistance would work for so little.
No one has seen an armored destroyer since Diablo was exiled from the burning hells centuries ago. Before then, they were the bulk of his army, and they crawled, thick as locusts, over the face of their master's realm. Should the Lord of Terror ever return, I fear they would be his heralds.
My strength has increased.
I am returning to town.
The shadow touched me, and darkness spread across my vision until all I could see was blackness. It gave way to a pale light that sapped my strength. It seemed so easy. But instead, I drew upon the last of my will and fought back. Color flooded back into my sight. The shadow was right before me, and I drove my spear through it.
Itar has raised me to new heights. My path becomes clearer.
Soul Rippers are the bane of the living, creatures born of the endless malice churning within hell. Agile and swift, the Rippers cover ground quickly by latching onto prey with their enormous tongues, and then leaping on top of their victims. From this point, the Ripper cannot be deterred. It has begun to feast.
My understanding grows.
It seems that the Fallen are indeed creatures of demonic origin. The old heraldic tale claims they were once powerful servants of the mythical Asmodan. They purportedly aided him in his battle against the prime evils, and Diablo later punished them by twisting them into the small, stupid forms they now possess. The large slug...
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
I cannot carry more. I can't carry any more. My understanding grows. I must lessen my burden. I can't carry any more. I crave a good fight. My strides grow longer. Yitar has raised me to new heights. My understanding grows. The gods favor me. My mind is stronger.
I need to go back. I need to go back.
My strength has increased. I must try this somewhere else.
Got some new goods. Better buy them before someone else does. Oh, it hurts.
A recruit has left. My foes lose some of their strength.